Hey up everybody, my name's Joshua Morrison, director of Johnny Moz's Lessons in Confidence, and today I wanted to take you through the editing process of videos like this, and particularly the film Johnny Moz's Lessons in Confidence. So I think to begin, let me just sort of show you what the general file organization setup is, because right now it does look a bit of a mess. So ignore stuff like a Sheffield Psychedelic version 3 and gym albums. This is literally just random albums that I download so I can listen to when I go to the gym. Don't ignore vlog compressed, because that's something that doesn't really matter. And ignore temp psych folder, do not delete. Ignore all of these things because they don't matter. All that matters here is this, 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 and this. And technically this a little bit, but not really. So let me go through them. First off, you got royalty-free beep. And this has stuff like black bars. It's got the LUTs that I use for the general videos. I tend to use Chemical and some other ones. And then it's got, what else is on there? Textures. I used these once, and I downloaded a load of them, and I'm sure I'll find a use for them. They're quite cool, I think. You got loads of interesting ones. So yeah, you can do some funky effects with them and add sort of really crazy kind of patterns to it. Because I'm working on a film called A Sheffield Psychedelic, so I downloaded those just for the sake of it. And then I bought some paper. I downloaded these paper ones as well, but I don't really know what to do with these. I'm sure I'll use them at some point. I'm just not really sure what for. But yeah, I have them just in case. I've got like the inside of a box. They're not very good, to be honest. And then black bars. These are really useful because you can get a range. Like if I wanted to make Lawrence of Arabia Part 2, I could just use this. I tend to use ones like these. Maybe these ones as well. Little ones, you know. I like seeing little bars, not big ones, but I like a little bit of barrage. And then if I come out of this, you go into SD card dumps. This normally has stuff from, you know, just random SD cards or just USB sticks and stuff like that. It will just, things end up here and then they get filtered through and sorted from this folder. And they tend to end up in this. This is the big folder. So you see Johnny Moz of 11, 13, 14, 15, and so on and so forth. These are the videos that I make. These are the talking videos. So here you can see, this is one of my most viewed videos. This is what the raw footage looks like. Okay? That's what the raw sound sounds like.
Okay. So now that you want to make this song, how do you proceed?
Yeah, I don't care. Here's the picture of a monkey that he took that by himself. I used that in a video, and that's royalty free. And then, you know, there's all these sort of videos. Here's one where I am doing it from this exact point of view, but for different levels.
Record everybody.
I'm not really sure what I'm doing in this one. And then, yeah, you got all of these sort of things, which I should really filter through. So what I wanted to do, I just closed it. I didn't mean to do that. So I go into editing room at Morrison Productions. Oh yeah, and jobs. I'm not going to show you what jobs is, but that's just the gigs that I do, my freelance work and stuff like that. But that's private. So for instance, I've got this, which is called Waiting for the Bus. So I was out with my friend, and we started making some really fun kind of stuff. I was just filming some footage, and he started running into the shot and having sort of fun with it. So we kind of carried that on, and we made this little music video out of it, which was a lot of fun. And I had this text over it. I was going to sort of have some text going over it. So yeah, I don't really like that anymore. So you got stuff like this. Which I think these are some pretty cool shots, if I'm going to be honest. I should really not have that playing because that's ridiculous. So yeah, you got stuff like this, you got stuff like this. It's just scenic. It was quite a nice day for this kind of thing. Yeah, this is the shot I like the most. Yeah. This is the shot I like the most because it's the way it sort of turns off and then on. It's just such, I like this sort of stuff, and I think it will work well in 4x3 or something like that. But anyway, we're not here to do this. We're not here to sort this out, so ignore that. We're here for Johnny Moz's Lessons in Confidence. So here is, I know it says day 5, I need to actually update it to day 5, to day 6. So we've got some new stuff that we want to put in. Okay, so what are we going to do? So first off, each day is its own thing. I call this day 0. This was a sort of a test day that I did to sort of make sure that what I'm planning on doing was actually feasible and achievable. And then day 1 is the cross lances stuff, and I've done videos on day 1, day 2, and day 3, and day 4, which, yeah, you got all this kind of stuff here. And then day 5, Johnny Mozza intro. I wanted to redo the Johnny Mozza intro, and I'm going to be, after I've edited all this stuff, I'm going to make a video saying day 5 is complete, here's some of the stuff from day 5, just to give you a test, an idea. I think it looks pretty fucking cool, if I'm going to be honest. Oleg, thank you very much for providing this fisheye lens for the shoot, because you really added something with that. Like, honestly, just look at, and yeah, the guitar faces are kind of bad on purpose as well. So we did so much. We did it all through the dusk sort of thing. We got loads and loads of cool stuff that I really shouldn't be spoiling for you. Look at all that. Look at that. Look at how grimy the setup is. This to me is what real filmmaking is all about. It's about the grottiness, the grittiness, and the down-to-earth kind of thing, rather than sterilizing this and doing this all properly with, you know, proper PAs and sound guys and runners and camera people all over the shop, and a second AD, second AD sort of going, everybody silence on set please, we need to sort this out, right? A bit less of that, right, and a bit more just going nuts and having fun with it. Also, I think part of what's interesting here is because the guitar's not plugged in, if you notice, guitar's not plugged in, so I think that might be part, because it's technically a dream sequence, so we could make that kind of work. And then there's some shots in here which I'm really looking forward to showing you.
1, 2, 3,
I got
go.
it first time. Yeah, we did this slow zoom.
There's somebody who really loves me.
Yeah, I think they look pretty fucking gnarly. Pretty fucking gnarly, if you ask me. I don't know why I've suddenly turned into Jamaican accents. Sorry about that. So yeah, let's go into Johnny Mozza's Lessons in Confidence, and let me show you what is going on. Can I just check we are still recording? Of course we are. A bit of GeoWizard sort of thing there, that's what he does. Yeah, I had to, my computer was on the brink, so I couldn't edit for a while. This was the issue. It was a DDR3 8 gigabyte RAM thing, so now I'm down 8 gig of RAM. So, and I'm also on the integrated graphics from the CPU rather than the graphics card itself, apparently. So great, that's kind of a pain in the ass, to be honest. So whilst this sort of locates, let me sort of run you through the way that I have been meaning to edit this and why my computer breaking has kind of been a bit of a pain in the ass, actually. It's because when I set out to make this film, I wanted to edit as I was making it. Right, so I would get back and I would sync up all the footage, and then the next day I would edit everything. And I did that pretty successfully for the first 4 days. But then between day 4 and day 5, my computer kind of went a bit freaky. And I've done videos where I kind of talked about what was going on. And it turned out it was a RAM issue. It wasn't like the DVI cable as I first thought, and it wasn't, you know, the CPU or the GPU or anything. It was just this. So this has gone on the brink, and I figured out how I'm going to get a new computer anyway. It's basically just going to re-salvage parts from this. But in the meanwhile, while I continue to work on Johnny Mozza, while the project's file size is still quite small, and before any color grading or anything is, you know, proper necessary is added to it, before effects and stuff can really come into the mix, I can just edit this quite small, because the good thing about this camera is it's filmed on this camera. It's a Canon C100 Mark I. It's currently got a 50mm USM lens on it. The good thing about this camera is it's only 24 megabytes per second, so you can edit footage quite nicely. So right now it's locating media, and this is because this is the first time I've actually opened this file since my computer broke down, so I think it's going to have a bit of a tough time understanding what's what. So it looks like it's got everything kind of figured out. Let me just have a look at what these are. Okay, those are 2 extra takes from that. Okay, let me go into the edit mode. So this is the edit mode, and now I just live with this little exclamation mark warning sign thing just over here. So whilst it conforms these things, because it's giving me the impulse to render, okay, it's done it. Right, that sort of to me says I should render this. So I'm going to render this out. Okay, it seems like it's going to be a quick render process. I try not to get too caught up in the rendering because it's very easy to just render when you want an excuse to like nip out for a fag or go get some food or whatever. It's a good excuse to just stop working for a bit. Oh yeah, it was rendering, I can just do stuff. And you can start rendering whenever the hell you want, for whatever reason you want. Oh yeah, I'm just going to chuck a warp stabilizer effect on it. Do you really need it? No, but I want to render it so that I can nip out, you know, so I can take a little bit of a break. That's the sort of psychological thing with regards to editing that I find, at least, and I bet I'm not alone on that. There's got to be other people, because it's so much fun to actually, it's so satisfying to go out and do something and do a bit of work while your computer is also doing work. I don't know if anyone else can kind of relate to that. I'm sure you can. Like, you ever export something off of a laptop? You ever export off a laptop, right? And then while it's exporting on the laptop, you use the PC to continue editing. It's brilliant. You can do so much cool stuff, especially if you've got two devices like this. And this laptop has been a godsend, I will say that. It has been absolutely amazing. I'm so glad I bought that a couple of years ago. 120 quid, that. It wasn't like an expensive laptop. It's not like some big gaming laptop or anything like that. It's covered in crumbs, actually, from Greek yogurt I was eating with like granola on it. Anyway, so I'm going to let it render this bit out first, because this bit here, this is the Universal Credits scene 1 with Demetrius, amazing actor, by the way, and please hire him for your sets. Yeah, I'm going to not bother with that one, because I want to first focus on the Oscar and me dialogue scene that we did on day 6. And we'll just sort that out for today, because I think the day 5 thing is a little bit more avant-garde almost, because it's a dream sequence. There's no sound. I feel like day 6 is a bit more representative of the standard editing process. So I think what we're going to do first, while that continues to render, I will just go ahead and show you sort of what we have for day 1, because it's not much. We didn't need much for it. So this is what we have, okay? So we have this shot. Yeah. And this was actually my bad. We actually lit this quite warm, but I accidentally set my thing to 2800 Kelvin and forgot about it. So I'm a fucking idiot. But it doesn't really matter. I think it looks better like this anyway. So stuff works out. And in this scene, I am kind of being a bit... oh, it's my real pouch of tobacco, by the way. I love this whole setup because the PS5 controller gets used. It's not like it's just a PS5 controller, which I feel like might take people out of the time zone, because you see PS2 games here, Bjork, you see, you know, this. It all feels a little bit from the past, and that's why I loved Oscar's house so much and really wanted to film there, because it's such a beautiful location. And what I also find fun is in the corner, this kind of calls back to an earlier part in the film where I go to charge the phone, because I'm meant to be sleeping on this sofa and he's kicking me out. So that's the conflict. He needs to kick me out of the house, but he's not a particularly confrontational person. Meanwhile, I am a sort of person that would never ever act like I'm vulnerable and would never admit a vulnerability. So I would rather go homeless than admit that I need some help. And he's constantly trying to offer help because of his lack of confrontational nature. He's not the type of person that would be like, "You're being a prick, you need to get out of my house." He would be nice about it, right? And I'm semi-taking advantage of it, but also at the same time, I'm refusing to admit my vulnerabilities to him. And that's kind of where the conflict comes in. And I'm very manic in this one. And I was using kind of the energy that I've had recently to just condense that into this one thing. And I managed to take my positive energy and convert it into this kind of mania for the sake of this character, which is a really fun character to play, by the way, because he's not too dissimilar from me at the end of the day. Yeah, so I've got that, and then I have this for when Oscar's character leaves. So basically, this is me kind of admitting defeat. This is me sort of the vulnerable side coming out after the fact. So let it just happen. So here you can see that I'm kind of testing the shot, testing the focus, making sure the framing's good, and now I'm going to drop into it. God, look at the shaving rash. Also, look at my eyes. Aren't they good? Also, do you know what's sick? The little bits of smoke. It just about billows. It just the tiniest little bit. And it's so cool. I think it just looks amazing. Yeah, Hadid did an amazing job. Oscar, amazing job. We did a video, actually, using this, I think it's this actually. Yeah, so this is a video you can go watch. So you go watch it, I suppose. Oh, this is actually the bit just afterwards. Yeah, you go watch this video. We talk about the filmmaking process. I feel a bit bad actually because I think I kind of rambled a lot and didn't let them actually talk as much as I should have. Yeah, that's kind of what we have for this day. Then sometime in this coming week I'm going to do day 7, which is going to be a solo day. That's going to do a lot of connection sort of scenes. There's a lot of parts of me going from one place to the other, where in the middle there's a little thing that happens. Like for instance, there's a repetitive thing of like the phone call going on through the, I'm phoning random people up throughout the course of the film as I go from one location to the other. So I want to kind of establish that. I want to set that sort of thing up. And there's also bits like where I go into like corner shop and buy like a 4-pack of beer and stuff like that, which kind of sets up the alcohol kind of. He's not, I wouldn't describe him as an alcoholic, but he is someone who drinks too much. But we're not going to sit around and make a big thing of it in the film. I'm going to instead use it more as just a part of his character, because he sees it as like, you know, well, rock stars, you know, they go out and they have like, you know, mad times and they do mad drugs. But I think he would be too pussy to do any of them mad drugs, just the same as I am. And then what else we got? We got BTS. What the hell is this? Oh yeah, I literally accidentally left the camera running at Oscar's house. There's no audio here, but this is just the time that I showed him the first scene. And this actually was the first shot that inspired me to make this film. Getting a shot that was along these lines, because I've been going to Oscar's house and I've been seeing this idea for a shot, and I just thought it looked so cool with these like church-like kind of painted glass windows, the TV, these really cool blind cupboard sort of things, the chandelier, the sofa, and the bigness of it all. I thought it'd be absolutely perfect. And yeah, I'm really, really, really keen on getting this film out so that people can actually see this. I do apologise for the lack of updates with regards to the Johnny Mozza Lessons in Confidence film in the past sort of couple weeks. I know I've been focusing a lot more on these videos, but at the end of the day, the videos are a very urgent thing. And whilst this also is as well, it's the sort of thing that you can kind of work around and make sure that not, you know, you kind of get what I mean, right? So yeah, I don't think it normally takes 17 minutes to get into the editing on an editing video. So I hope you like the rambliness. Yeah, what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to end this video here, and we're going to do a real video of just the editing and just get the editing out of the way, because this one has been more of a discussion around file organization and that kind of thing, and I think that's also quite important. It's boring, but it's important. So yeah, I'm going to love you all and take care. Yeah.
Look in the mirror.
Shut up, me. Pretend I never did that. Nah. Right, that's the end of the video.